Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. So you guys have been asking us the same question over and over and over again for the last year and a half. What is it? Well, about a year and a half ago, we got a comment from a subscriber on one of our videos who happened to say that they recognized our house in the videos and that they lived nearby. You guys might recognize him as neighbor Doug.
How are you? Back again.
So a year and a half ago, Doug commented on one of our videos, said he lived nearby, gave me directions to his house from our house through the ATV trails instead of, directions on the road. I thought that was pretty funny. And when I saw those, I knew exactly what he was talking about. He's like, yeah, dip down over this ravine, take a right here, take a left there. And we've gotten to be pretty good friends over the last year and a half. You guys have seen him in a ton of videos. And the question that everybody has been asking is, when is neighbor Doug going to start his own YouTube channel? And I think we're there.
Well, I reached out to Adam, I don't know if it was last night or the night before, and I said, I think I'm ready to give this a try. I think I've enjoyed doing or being on your channel and seeing how you do it, and it's always been fun. It's always been fun being there, watching the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, I'm retired. I do a lot of different projects in my workshop, around the house. I've got a ton of different things that I do than what Adam does. But Adam can't always come out and play when I'm ready to come out and play during the day. So
I think that's what we'll talk about is, so first of all, the name of Doug's channel is One Eye Customs. You may have seen him in the comments. He's every time a video goes live, he's down in the comments replying to people just as the same as I am. But what is your channel going to be about? Because like you said, you're doing a lot of projects during the day when I'm at work doing my 9 to 5. So there's a lot of things that you would like to make videos on that we can't squeeze into my evenings and weekends for Hometown
Right.
Acres. So what kind of stuff are you gonna cover?
I've always been a man of, I would rather try and do it myself before I'd hire it done. And I've learned along the way through many years of either making a mistake or messing something up and figuring out how to get things done, and whether it's electrical, whether it's welding, whether it's plumbing, whether it's building trails out in the woods, mowing the lawn. I see it as a channel that's just going to cover your general everyday homeowner, homesteader, home everything. I don't leave the house a whole lot. I enjoy it where I live. I've made my house my home, and it's kind of, we built our house. My wife and I built our house, and from that point on, every year we've always tried to put back something into the house to either maintain it or to make it nicer or do whatever. Mm-hmm. So there'll be a lot of that kind of stuff in the channel. There'll be a lot of things like I've got other friends, believe it or not, other than you, that'll say, hey Doug, can you give me a hand with something? It might be working on his Jeep, or it might be another friend that, we're going to build a white oak mailbox post out of.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more unique than just a 4x4 post. So I'm hoping to try and incorporate that kind of stuff into the videos and see where it goes from there.
Yeah, and I think we were talking about, I've always been the kind of, so I'm an accountant, so I think in terms of numbers, and we have two very different brains.
I just wing it.
Yeah. Doug has the engineering, problem-solving brain. I have the black and white numbers type brain. And if I see a problem, I always think, okay, this is how everybody else solves it, right? And whether it's good or bad, that's how I tackle solving a problem, is this is the way it's been done. Doug looks at things, and I love going over there and watching him problem solve stuff, because he doesn't think about that. He thinks about how should it be solved. Just because that's the way it's been done doesn't mean that's how it ought to be done. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of videos you put out as well. I think it's going to be really interesting. It actually reminds me, my wife was telling me about a YouTube channel a couple days ago. I think it's called Dad, How Do I? And it's a channel about this guy who, I guess he didn't have a father growing up, and he learned how to do all of this electrical, plumbing, welding, all that kind of stuff on his own. And he started a YouTube channel on questions that his son is now calling him and saying, Dad, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I love the name of the YouTube channel, but I think that's kind of
Yeah.
where some of the things you're going to be doing. And not only is it going to be how do you do that stuff, but how do you do it better? How do you come up with...
You know, it's funny you say that because usually I'll look at something and I'm already frustrated because I either don't know what I'm doing or don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'll say, there's got to be a better way. You know, and that's kind of, I don't know whether that's my new motto in life or what it is, but you look at things and you wonder who in the world designed this or engineered this, or why would people do things this way? And I look at it and I say, well, there's got to be a better way to do it. And sometimes they're huge failures, and sometimes the light bulb goes off and you're like, why isn't everybody doing it like this?
Yeah.
So it, you know, it just, to me, it's more for the entertainment purpose, the value. I'm excited to get both my sons involved in it. And my wife has promised, and hopefully from you viewers, you know, if you jump over onto our channel, we can talk her into being in some more of the videos as well. So I hope to corral her into our first video and do some stuff in that. But you know, I really want to do it, have the family involved. Like I said, I'm retired, so it's enjoyable to do projects. And sometimes I even look at a project and think, wow, that was pretty smart.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've even impressed myself on occasions.
And the other thing that I really think is cool is the scope of projects. Because Doug is retired, he's got time on his hands that most people don't have the time to do. For example, your PTO powered leaf blower on the back of your tractor. So you know when you've got a PTO powered implement, your PTO shaft is telescopic, and usually when you go to pick it up and you don't have it hooked up to the tractor side of the PTO will fall off. Well, Doug welded up a mount to the leaf blower so that he can take that PTO shaft off and mount it to
keep it right with that unit.
Keep it right with the unit. And I'm thinking, do you know how many times on my brush hog or my rototiller or my wood chipper that I have dealt with that problem? And it's such a simple solution, but you just, like I said, I just think, oh, that's how it is owning PTO powered implements. You just have to deal with that.
Yeah, the shaft's just meant to lay there on the ground.
Yeah, and no, you can take it off and create a little, what did you had a thing that the shaft fits into.
It was literally an old drive shaft I had off of a John Deere mower. I have a PTO shaft. No idea why I still had it.
Yeah.
But I literally had it laying around in the garage and kept it. And I went, I'll bet that fits.
Yeah.
And I went over and sure enough plugged it in, and I welded a little platform on it and put it onto the blower.
Yeah, and so now the PTO shaft just sits right on top of the blower when it's not in use. And it's little stuff like that that I really appreciate. I think most of you guys will appreciate too.
Yeah, it's the light bulb moment. It's like, man, I can't, that was so simple. I can't believe I didn't think of that, you know, or whatever. So that's what I'm hoping that a lot of the content's going to be. I don't proclaim to be a professional at anything. There's people out there that they're professional masons, professional carpenters, professional welders. I'm none of those.
Yeah.
I'm good at some things. I'm a lot better at looking at a problem and trying to come up with a solution to it. I might not have the best solution where, you know, I might slab a piece of wood on something to make it work, where somebody else, a professional, would say, no, you've got to weld this and do that. But in all reality, what I do is for me. It's to make my life easier.
You're not selling it to other people.
Right. And if I can come up with a way and put it on video for viewers to see it and go, wow, that'd make my life a lot easier too, then I guess that's where we're going to go with it. So we'll see.
And I think something else that we should talk about too is, as you just mentioned, I always try to, in the videos, say that I'm not a professional. I'm a homeowner making something work. And if you don't do that and you show a video of how to do something, even if you're not saying this is how you should do it, you're just saying this is how I should do it, you're inevitably going to get the trolls that come in, the professionals who tell you, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that, you're an idiot, you should have done it this way. And I wanted to get your thoughts on, was that one of the reasons why you hadn't started a channel sooner? Was the trolls?
You know, I don't know. The trolls don't bother me too much. In some occasions, they do have a legitimate comment.
Yeah.
But in most occasions, they really don't know what's at hand right in front of you. like when you're doing your garage build and people would comment about, oh, the drain pipe here or whatever. They literally have no concept of how steep your driveway really is and why you couldn't do those things. So there was, there was a lot of thought put into different things that you do, and there's a lot of thought that gets put into why I do things. And when one of those trolls, if you will, comes out and says, well, you should have just pushed all the snow into the pond. I mean, in all reality, yeah, you could. That's a great idea. But there's way too much distance, way too much effort.
We try to explain things as best we can. I try to get ahead of the comments that I know people are going to leave, but you can't always get ahead of them all. And it's really hard if you don't explain it, to give a full picture of the lay of the land and show every aspect of why you made that decision to do it that way. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate all the comments. I very rarely will delete, a comment. It's only if somebody gets really mean and nasty. If somebody has a difference in opinion or something like that, I generally will leave those comments up and let people in the comments section see different ideas than what we did, and maybe their comment might apply to somebody else's situation. But I was curious to see, and you've been a part of the channel now for a year, so you've seen the trolls come in on certain videos. Every once in a while, a troll will get under my skin, and I do kind of respond back in a snooty, snarky way. I try not to do that because most of the time it's usually easier just to delete it and move on, or just ignore it.
Well, wait. What'd your parents tell you if you ain't got nothing nice to say?
Don't say anything.
Don't say anything at all.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just one of those things that as a YouTuber, and the way I look at it too is if you're not getting trolls on your channel, that means that your channel's not, it's not growing. You don't have a whole lot of views, because as soon as you have one video that, goes 50, 100,000, 200,000 views, the trolls just flood in. It's crazy. So
and I would like to personally thank you right here in front of all your fans. And you allowed me to come in on your channel. And we did a video over at my house in my garage. Mm-hmm. And I basically, for the last, I think it's been up for 6 months, 7 months now, I've just been dumbfounded and amazed.
Yeah.
And it's actually, we're over 1 million views right now. That just blows my mind. I would have never in my life thought that it would get there. And it was a long video. It was over an hour long.
Yeah.
And going down through, and I literally have read every single comment in there, because I've either given it a thumbs up or I've ignored it because it was a troll.
How many comments did you get that said, man, this guy has too much time on his hands, his shop is too clean, he doesn't do any work in there?
There was a lot of those, and like I told you, I had to absolutely laugh. That was the intent of the video.
Yeah, to show a clean, neat, tidy garage.
It's to show little easy ways, as we called it, hacks, and apparently there was a ton of people that just hate that word hacks. I just can't fathom that. But when you do a video, it's to basically just show your life here and what you've worked on. And that's basically going to be the same as me. It's show my life, what makes my life easier. And hey, if you guys find something that makes your life easier, then awesome. We did our job in creating content and helping other people out. So it's just one of those scenarios that when somebody gets in there and wants to get under your skin, I'm at an age now where I can just say, whatever, move on. I don't really care. I may think twice about it. I may lay down in bed at night and that comment runs through my head 4 or 5 times. But the reality of it is I wake up the next day and I'm ready to go and move on and do whatever. So
one thing I will warn you about is YouTube is very addicting. You're going to start looking at projects differently in terms of, man, I should have got that on video. Man, I wish I would have filmed that. That would have been a cool video. And it's going to be to the point where you're thinking of all your projects in terms of videos, because it is fun. When you take the time to film a project that you think is interesting, you think other people out there will appreciate, and you get it all edited and put together and you're proud of it and you put it out, and then you get to interact with people who watch it the next day. It's very rewarding.
So the other day when I asked you about Mike Clayman, Captain Clayman's contact information, because I had commented on one of his videos because he gets harassed in the worst kind of way about breaking stuff. I mean, in Dirt Perfect's videos, he'll blatantly just come right out and say, well, just leave it for Clayman, he'll break it, and it's like, holy cow, I'm sure Mike Clayman's going to watch this. But so anyhow, I had asked you for his information because I had commented, hey, you're not the only Superman out there that can break and bend steel.
Yeah.
And so I sent him a picture of an excavator bucket that I just broke, I think it was 2 days ago. It was pulling on a stump, and it literally broke the cutting edge. It didn't break a tooth off, didn't anything. It broke the entire cutting edge, about a foot wide.
With two teeth on the...
With two teeth still on the cutting edge. And so I sent those pictures off to Mike, because I knew he'd get a kick out of it, being that he's always getting stuck with breaking stuff.
Yeah.
and back to your comment, the first thing he asked me was, did you get it on video? And
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, and this would go to more content, but
See, if you had been making a YouTube video of that, it would have gotten,
and now my mind's rolling is, okay, how can I backtrack that? How can I go out there and put that bucket on that stump?
Yep.
And pretend like I just broke it. So that might be a video coming up, but I'm gonna try to weld that cutting edge up and see if I can make it work again. I don't know if it's capable of being welded, but I'm gonna give it a good shot. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Oh, one other question I wanted to get ahead of, because I know we're going to get this in the comments, but what does Doug starting his own YouTube channel mean for his participation in Hometown Acres? And we've already been talking about...
Okay, cut. Can we cut for a second?
Yeah.
Oh wait, this is YouTube. We don't do that here.
Yeah, it's
do
not
we?
live. We can just edit that out.
Nah, it's warm out, so...
But yeah, so we already have been talking about, I think this is actually just going to add even more, because we're going to be doing a lot of collaborations between One Eye Customs and Hometown Acres, maybe starting projects on one channel, finishing them on the other, all that kind of stuff. So.
And yes, I asked permission from Adam what he thought or how he would be or act if I did create a channel. I sure as heck don't want him to think that I'm over here because I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I want to start a YouTube channel because it looks like fun.
It is.
It seems like, there's fun. And I'm not going to lie. You can make money at it.
Yeah.
And in the end game, everything right now, and I think jokingly, I've told you, I don't know how many times, you said, well, what about starting a YouTube channel? I said, well, I can't afford diesel fuel anymore. I gotta start a YouTube channel to help cover the costs of all the fun stuff I do that now I'm gonna video.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what, sometimes people give us a hard time about sponsors and stuff, but what you guys don't understand is it costs. We have quite a bit of capital investment in making these videos. I mean, the camera gear, granted, a lot of the projects we'd be doing anyway, but to run the excavator for a couple hours, there's diesel to run the tractor. There's a lot of fuel and
well, I can
costs
tell
involved.
you that you burn a lot more diesel than I do, because it takes you 3 times longer to video something because
Yeah.
you're stopping and hopping out and videoing while the machine's running, whatnot. So now I'm going to be seeing that curse of it's going to take 2 hours when it would have only taken 20 minutes to do something.
Yeah.
But I guess we steered away from your question. I hope that you would still involve me in your channel, because literally during the day, I might still want to come over and say, hey, what are you doing, Adam? Do you need a hand with something? I'm bored, whatever. But so if Adam will allow me, I'll continue to come over and be on the Hometown Acres channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would enjoy doing my channel because it's different stuff.
You're gonna be doing a lot of stuff in the garage, welding and fabricating.
Yeah, I won't be out. I'm not gonna get a wood processor, no way.
Yeah.
And out splitting wood. That's just not. I mean, we did it as kids. I do it as fun. You've seen some videos where I enjoy splitting wood by hand.
Yeah.
But I have really no interest in doing the wood thing.
Now, what about the excavating stuff? I mean, you've got the skid steer, you've got the mini excavator. Are you gonna do videos of those? There's another market that's pretty saturated of guys out digging ditches, digging ponds, things like that. I don't do that. What I do with my equipment is I go out and I groom trails, where I go out and I create swale ditches, something that
helps water runoff better, or things like that. I've got 37 acres that I maintain personally, and then I help maintain the land on both sides of me, which is, I'll bet, close to 500 acres of land on each side of my property. So I enjoy going through there and maintaining the trails. We actually have a horse farm between us, an equestrian horse farm, and I don't think there's a day that I don't go out on the side-by-side up through the trails, and there's people riding their horses through those trails.
Yeah.
So I enjoy maintaining those trails.
Right.
There's trees that fall down through them, and really with the skid loader, that's the quickest and easiest way to go up and clear logs that have fallen. So I hope to be able to video that. I hope to catch 3 horses, with their riders on them coming down through the trail, and we meet. I've done that probably a dozen times now. Where
You're on the skid steer, and they're coming through on horseback.
yeah, and I'll pull over and shut it off because I don't want to spook the horses,
Yeah.
Because, some of these girls riding these horses are 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
And, they've got an adult with them, but the last thing you want to do is spook a horse.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to pick up the young girl that fell off, and then you're going to have to go look for the horse.
Yeah.
So,
And the other thing is you have some really cool attachments for the excavator and the skid steer. You've got that 6-way dozer blade that you use for
Yeah.
trail maintenance, and I think there's going to be a lot of cool content on One Eye Customs. So.
yeah. So if I can figure it out, we'll put them out there. If I can't, I'll just tell Adam to come over and video it. Give him more content.
But anyway, yeah, that's the big news for today is that Doug is going to be starting his YouTube channel. If you go check out right now, I'm going to post this video the same time that we're going to post his first video. One Eye Customs is the name of the channel, and I think we're actually going to head over there right now and go work on filming that.